am excited about joining together to go through the book of Proverbs, chapter 15. It's been quite an interesting time the past 15 days getting to hear the word of God and just get the insights from Pastor Stephen. So today we're going to go through Proverbs chapter 15, and I've just picked a few verses that stood out to me and, hoping to share what I think, and hopefully you get to share your thoughts in the comments at the end, when you go onto YouTube. Losing my words. So verse 1 says, "A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." This first thing that came to my mind when I read this was the differences in personalities between my husband and I. That's the first thing that came to mind, because we're both very different. He's a bit more blunt in his approach, naturally, calls a spade, whereas I'm one of those people who tends to beat around the bush, try to be diplomatic, try to be gentler in my approach. And so I looked at this and I thought, does that actually mean that it's better to be one over the other? And I think really it's a bit more than that. Yes, there is a part of it that's about being very careful with your words, not being insensitive, being careful. But I think it's deeper than that. It says a gentle answer turns away wrath, meaning that it's possible to provoke someone to respond in two different ways. It's possible to provoke someone to respond in a defensive, angry way, or to actually respond in a way that's a bit more receptive to the words that are being said. Words are very powerful. How we use words is powerful. So I think for me, this is saying, you don't have to change who you are. You don't have to change your personality, but you have to be aware that you have an impact on someone by the way that you say things. A gentle answer. So the aim is that we are gentle in our approach. We are gentle in our responses. You can still be firm, but be gentle. A harsh word stirs up anger. And I think sometimes it can happen even with parents, the way that we may be with our kids, with our children, the way that we can be quite harsh in our approach to them. We expect them to do certain things, and when they don't do it, we can be harsh with them. But it says gentle way of doing things yields different results. So the next one that I thought would be good to share was verse 4, once again about the way we use words. It says, "The soothing tongue is a tree of life, but a perverse tongue crushes the spirit." Once again, they're contrasting. They're contrasting a way of doing things. A soothing tongue, right? A tongue that, or a spoken word that soothes someone is like a tree. It's a tree of life. So you can say things in a way that is calming, that is soothing to the listener. Or you can have a perverse tongue. When we think about perversion, wrongdoing, a way that is not aligned with God's way of doing things, right? The things that are kind of crushing can come from the way we speak. And so a soothing tongue is really what we should be aiming for. The next verse is verse 16 and 17, and it says, "Better a little with the fear of the Lord than great wealth with turmoil. Better a small serving of vegetables with love than a fattened calf with hatred." I'll start with verse 16. Verse 16 is it's contrasting having a little with the fear of the Lord versus having great wealth with turmoil. And what's interesting is, we live in a generation and an era where we're all kind of hustling. We're all trying to get our own. We're all trying to work hard to succeed, to gain wealth. But this here, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with working hard to gain something, to gain wealth, But this points out that it's better. It is better to have a little with the fear of the Lord than great wealth with turmoil. Now, I want to point something out here. It doesn't say it's better to be poor or to live in poverty than to have wealth. It says it's better a little with the fear of the Lord than great wealth with turmoil. Now, that could mean anything. What is great wealth for someone else or what is a little for someone else might be different for somebody else. So that's not the point. The point is the importance of the fear of the Lord, valuing the fear of the Lord versus the turmoil that can come when you've pursued all these things and you've acquired this great wealth, but you have no peace. So once again, this is a book of wisdom. Proverbs is a book of wisdom. And the wisdom in this verse is that the fear of the Lord is better. If you're going to strive for anything, if you're going to hustle for anything, if you're going to chase anything, chase the fear of the Lord. Verse 17 says, better a small serving of vegetables with love than a fattened calf with hatred. Funny thing, when I looked at this, I started thinking of I'm not big on spinach. I'm not really big on spinach. In fact, for where I grew up, you just give somebody just vegetables with no meat. It's like, where's the food? You're just giving me veggies. Where is the food? Meaning the meat is missing, This might mean nothing, obviously, for vegetarians, but it says it's better to have a small serving of veggies or vegetables with love than a fattened calf with hatred. I think the unspoken thing in this verse is that you can actually, it's that sometimes those things that don't seem like much, those things that may seem like you're lacking, you have poverty, can come with great love. They come with a more gentle, more peaceful life. Whereas the other lifestyle, where there is that fattened calf, where there is that great wealth, can come with hatred, right? Once again, it's contrasting those two ideas around, the fear of the Lord and the peace that comes, when you pursue that fear of the Lord versus pursuing the great wealth. So once again, it's not saying that having wealth is a bad thing or that it's better to be poor. Because I think for some people, there is this idea or this thinking that poverty or lack is a good thing because it shows your relationship with God or your spirituality, and then wealth or having all these great things and pursuing, being ambitious is a bad thing, and it's a sign that you have no relationship with God. That's not true. You can have the fear of the Lord and be wealthy, and you can have wickedness in your heart and be poor. Yeah. So those are just my thoughts around that. There's a lot to unpack in these chapters, in these verses, but I hope that you can go through verse 15 for yourself. Ask God to show you a little bit more, I guess, about what that means to you personally. Share in the comments on the YouTube channel, and yeah, it's always good to have a conversation going. So thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you in, I don't know, one of these. I think you have Pastor Stephen next, but I'm sure I'll catch you again. Thank you, and bye for now.